Nomophobia. Nomophobia stands for no mobile phone phobia. It's the fear or anxiety of not having access to your phone, whether it's dead, lost, has no signal, or you simply forgot it at home. Sounds extreme, but it's real. A study in the UK found that over 66% of people feel anxious when they can't check their phone. In severe cases, some people even experience shortness of breath, sweating, or panic attacks just because their phone runs out of battery. This phobia is mostly caused by digital dependency, FOMO, fear of missing out, and the need to stay socially connected 24/7. It's become more common with the rise of smartphones, especially among teens and young adults. Luckily, things like digital detox, screen time control, and therapy can help manage it. Xanthophobia. Xanthophobia is the fear of the color yellow. Yep, just the color yellow. For some people, even seeing a yellow flower, a lemon, or a yellow highlighter can trigger anxiety, nausea, or even a panic response. It's super rare, but it's been documented. This phobia usually comes from a traumatic experience related to something yellow, or in some cases, neurological sensitivity that causes the brain to associate the color with danger or discomfort. Even though yellow is often linked with happiness and brightness, for someone with xanthophobia, it's the complete opposite. Anatidaephobia. This one sounds like a joke, but it's not. Anatidaephobia is the irrational fear that somehow a duck is watching you. Yes, not attacking, just watching. People with this phobia feel like a duck, or something duck-like, is observing them from a distance. It's more about the feeling of being watched, which can trigger paranoia, anxiety, and discomfort. It was actually made popular by a cartoonist, but turns out, similar cases have been reported in psychology. It's linked to mild delusional thinking or anxiety disorders, where the brain creates imaginary threats. Weird. Yes, but totally real for those who live with it. Arachibutyrophobia. This is the fear of peanut butter sticking to the roof of your mouth. Not peanuts, not peanut butter, but that sticky, choking feeling when it gets stuck and you can't get it off. People who experience this often have past trauma like choking incidents, or they might have OCD, or a sensory processing disorder, that makes certain textures feel unbearable. In some cases, it can extend to any sticky food, like caramel, marshmallow, or taffy. It's rare, but for those who have it, it can make eating a real source of stress. Pogonophobia. Pogonophobia is the fear of beards. People with this phobia get nervous, anxious, or even scared around people who have beards. It might sound funny, but it usually has deep roots. For some, it's connected to a bad childhood experience involving someone with a beard. Others feel like they can't read facial expressions properly because the beard covers too much of the face, and that triggers discomfort. It can also be tied to cultural or personal beliefs that associate beards with uncleanliness or aggression. Either way, it's more than just a preference. It's a genuine psychological reaction. Haphephobia. Haphephobia is the fear of being touched. Even light, harmless contact, like a handshake, a pat on the shoulder, or a hug, can feel threatening to someone with this condition. This phobia often comes from trauma, especially physical or emotional abuse. It's also common in people with PTSD, or autism spectrum disorders, where physical touch can feel overwhelming or even painful. It's not just discomfort. For many, it triggers full-on panic attacks, nausea, or dissociation. Recovery usually involves gradual exposure therapy and building a sense of safety with trusted people. Trypophobia. Trypophobia is the fear or intense discomfort triggered by clusters of small holes. Think honeycombs, lotus seed pods, or even pores on the skin. When people with trypophobia see these patterns, they often feel itchy, nauseous, anxious, or like bugs are crawling on their skin. Some even feel dizzy or want to throw up. Although it's not officially listed in the DSM-5, it's been studied quite a bit. Researchers say the brain might associate these whole patterns with disease, decay, or danger, which kicks in a survival response. Because it's mostly visual, treatment often includes exposure to images in small doses and learning how to manage the body's overreaction. Coulrophobia. Coulrophobia is the fear of clowns. While many people see clowns as funny and entertaining, for those with coulrophobia, Clowns are scary and can trigger panic. This fear often comes from their exaggerated makeup, unpredictable movements, and overall weird appearance. Some people might have had bad experiences with clowns as kids that stuck with them. It's pretty common and can make people avoid places like circuses or kids' parties, where clowns show up. Ergophobia. Ergophobia is an extreme fear of work or work environments. People with this phobia feel anxious, scared of failing, or afraid to socialize at the office. It can be caused by bad work experiences, too much pressure, or social anxiety like fear of being judged. This phobia can seriously hurt productivity and career growth. Therapy and counseling can help a lot to overcome it. Oblitophobia. Oblitophobia is a fear of bathing or cleaning oneself. Those with this phobia feel scared or disgusted at the idea of taking a bath, which obviously affects hygiene and health. Sometimes it's linked to childhood trauma or anxiety disorders that make bathing feel overwhelming. Treatment usually involves gradual behavioral therapy to help the person get comfortable with bathing again. Tyrannophobia. Tyrannophobia is the fear of feathers, especially bird feathers. For sufferers, touching or even seeing feathers can cause panic, itching, or the feeling that the feathers are threatening. It's a pretty unique but real phobia, often connected to bad experiences with feathers or extreme sensitivity to the tickling sensation. Aphobophobia. Aphobophobia is the fear or strong discomfort around teenagers or young people. Those with this phobia often avoid interacting with teens because they see them as troublemakers or untrustworthy. It usually stems from negative stereotypes or bad experiences with young people.